Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I wanted to do some house cleaning with some of the CitizenCon content that was coming out from third parties and interviews with Brian Chambers and Tony Z. There was an Angry Joe interview with some bits that were interesting, an 890 jump informational bit with John Crew, and a bit of a post-mortem from ATV this week. So I'm going to summarize that all as a single video, as I think it can be compressed pretty quickly and easily. So, around the verse, Austin, Texas Cakewalk gave us a little bit of CitizenCon afterthoughts. Henry Cavill, the current Superman, I believe, was revealed as a character in Squadron 42. They had previously been keeping under wraps for like 2 years or whatever, haven't they? And apparently there are other surprises still with the cast. They were super happy with the response from the new Squadron 42 trailer that they showed at CitizenCon. Some Mark Hamill fans thought it was a new movie or Netflix series, and they were congratulating him on his Twitter. The hair skin models are significantly better than the previous look that they had for all those models and actors and everything, and they're going to continue to get better and better looking in the run-up to Squadron 42's release. The roadmap for Squadron 42 won't spoil the story, so they're always aware that people want information on when Squadron 42 is going to release. In December, we're going to see the Squadron 42 roadmap added to the current roadmap that we have up until the game's completion, which is going to be great, but they don't want to spoil bits, but they do want to convey as much information as they can, what needs to be done. You see what I mean? CitizenCon was the biggest community celebration to date that they've had. They had actors for the booths at the event, so they had sort of like people from Majors Dynamics and that sort of stuff. Who didn't break character and added to the event's immersion. It was rather cool rather than cringe, and how often can I say that? And the whole event looked absolutely fantastic. The 890 Jump Club asked John Crew a variety of questions on the 890 Jump at CitizenCon. The ship is now just shy of 200 meters long. It is massive. It has 4 guest suites, 2 on the atrium deck and 2 on the deck above that. There's a battle bridge at the core of the ship, which is sort of like a safe room where you can fight and control the ship pretty remotely. Just like many other large ships, it will have some level of command and control gameplay, but it doesn't have the holosphere that the Idris does. So you'll be able to command ships and help sort of like use the ship as a command ship, but it might not necessarily have the same sort of functionality as an Idris. Cargo capacity is a few hundred SCU. The ship has a range of capital class components. It is going to be pretty well component up, and that those components are going to be of quite a high quality. Combat-wise, they're sort of going for a more defensive style rather than a superly heavily armed style. The ship will be slower than the Polaris at the moment, that's what they're thinking, though just like everything, this is going to be balanced out in the future. It should be good at exploring, like the 600i Explorer, but has a bigger radar too, and it will be good for those sort of like those luxury touring mission gameplay loops, sort of take VIPs to these areas, or take some people around to look at these cool phenomena, but also that general exploration of let's go and discover things and scan things down. The ship's point defense system it originally had is being converted into 2 remote turrets that can be controlled by AI via computer blades, so they can be told to shoot down certain things. Is basically what it is. They effectively act as a point defense system. The ship has a large pool, a relaxing grotto, and potentially a full spa. The ship has as many as 30 fixed thrusters, so this is going to make it super maneuverable, especially in atmospheric flight, so it will be able to land on planets and that sort of thing is the idea. The ship will fit at least 2 85X luxury shuttles in its hangar. Potentially, this could be swapped out for a single larger ship. Atlas Defense interviewed Brian Chambers about general development and procedural tech, and we'll go over this briefly here. The Frankfurt studio started with 9 people around 3 years ago. They're now at 82 people, and they have room for an additional 12 plus-ish in the short term. And then if they needed more people in the studio, they'd have to look at getting some more space. There are various biomes, vegetation, and the like that we haven't seen yet, that the Frankfurt studio has been working on and finished. Technology-wise, they will absorb and use any tech that is sensible for them to use. So this could be ray tracing, Vulkan, DirectX 12, all that sort of stuff, and all those sort of things that they foresee in the future as well. They'll look at something, they'll discuss something, and they'll use it if it is sensible to absorb and use. Habs will allow for players to rent apartments on planets and large cities. So they basically have Hab blocks at the moment they've talked about for 3.3.5 that can sort of like store 100 people in there. The procedural tech allows them to bring more and more hab blocks online as needed as more and more players get added to the game. But basically, they can have these huge sections of city that are dedicated to habitation and like population, and they can literally have every single hab physicalized. Swimming is confirmed for players and NPCs, and they have discussed some of the underwater exploration elements. There's something going to be going on there. They haven't super confirmed anything yet, though, but there is going to be lots of interaction with water. Rest stops are made of a range of modular pieces that they've been developing for a while, and then the procedural tech assembles them into a sensible, useful space station. As they get more and more pieces, this can make more and more complex or unique-looking space stations. Tools, efficiency, and automation have been key to Star Citizen's development, as are backer feedback and support. VFX, biome, and weather effects are all part of the procedural planet system as well. The Angry Joe interview. So the interview covered some very basic Star Citizen questions at the start with Brian Chambers, but it's sort of like things we've heard a billion times before. But later in that video, he does talk to Tony Zarevic, and there was some more interesting info there where he sort of like, it's a lot of stuff we already know, but Tony C has a particular way of talking that you know that that's what he's working on, or this is how it's going to be. So insurance will mean that you have to worry less about your ship exploding or being stolen. If something happens to your ship, you can go to the insurance office and then make a claim on the ship. That will then mark the ship as stolen if someone else basically has it in their possession. If that ship is scanned, the authorities or bounty hunters will be cleared to engage that target. Larger ships like the Idris or Kraken are intended to be bought by groups of players. They are not sort of like cheap things that you can grind for like a month solo to get. You're going to have to work at them as a group. You will be able to rent ships in 3.3.5, but also in the full game. You can test out those ships or use them for some missions at their rental cost. So you don't have to buy them, you can rent them. Tony Z did also suggest, and this is sort of like something I didn't really know before, and might have just been Tony Z discussing and theory crafting, but it did sound like they've been talking about this. You'd potentially be able to pay in chunks, daily or weekly or monthly or whatever, towards your ship, kind of getting it on hire purchase or a mortgage for a ship sort of thing. So you go, I want this Kraken, and I'm going to pay 200,000 UEC each week, sort of thing. That's what it sounded like. Like you could have a different option of rental where you would actually start purchasing the ship as well. There will be various anti-theft and lock devices to help prevent people from easily stealing your ships. Stolen ships won't be able to make use of lawful stations and services, although you'll probably be able to use service beacons. But I suppose if someone scans you, they'd be clear to engage you. If you keep filing claims, then you may have to wait longer and longer for your ship to be replaced. So yeah, you can't just constantly Zerg rush something and just get your ship back every time. Even if it's insured, it will take longer and longer to get back in the shorter term anyway. Capital ships may take days or longer to replace. When players get bounties on their heads that are significant enough, the game will generate missions for NPCs and players to go after them, and obviously raise the prices more and more that they go free, or if they keep on causing more and more trouble and do more and more crime. They also talked about rescue services, which may be like super basic, pick you up after a few minutes if a player is in a pinch and there's no one else around service beacon wise to help you, or NPC wise to help you, if you've like ejected from your ship or you're stuck on a planet or whatever. So basically you don't have to suicide is the idea. So as an alternative to that, they will have some sort of super basic pick up and take you to a station services rather than drop grenade at your feet. I'll put all the links to all those various interviews down below as well, and those sources, so you can watch the full things if you so wish. There is a few bits and bobs I want to do with some of the CitizenCon second stage summaries. I want to look through all of the CitizenCon footage again one more time and make sure I've got everything that's important summarized there out on my channel. So I'll be doing that over the next week or so. There are actually a couple of second stage and sort of like presentations that I have not seen yet as well, so I'm waiting for them to go up on the Star Citizen channel. I've got a playlist as well, CitizenCon 2018, which will contain everything that I've uploaded from CitizenCon, any third-party call interviews that I've seen, as well as all the panels and presentations from CitizenCon, whether they're from the Star Citizen main channel or wherever they're from, as and when I can get hold of them. Hope that was interesting, guys. Please tell me what you think down below in the comments. As always, your comments are appreciated and also help me work out what I'm going to do next for videos. I am going to jump back into 3.3.0. I think it's PTU now, and mess around in that for a while. Hopefully it is less crashy than the O build that I experienced yesterday. My radar have provided a new Anvil Valkyrie to give away. All you need to do is to be subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my Star Citizen videos made during October. My radar is a mobile app for iOS and Android that provides up-to-the-minute weather information in the US, Europe, and Japan, with service in Australia coming in by the end of 2018. It allows Star Citizen players to view detailed maps of the moons in-game as well. Yela, Selin, and Daymar. A new version will be released this month that includes new features, including outpost markers and updated maps. Also, if you're looking to get or upgrade a gaming PC, then consider Shadow instead. Shadow is a subscription-based cloud gaming PC service that can turn most devices, phone, laptop, PC, tablet, and more into a powerful gaming PC via the internets. Links to more info in the description for that, and if you do decide to try it, then use the code BoredGamer to get a discount on the service.